evening Europe, good morning Australia, and hello to the rest of the world that may be watching. Welcome to the semi-final allocation draw for the 9th edition of the All-Stars Song Contest. My name is Ryan Avrili Booth and I am the executive producer, founder and creator of the contest. And joining me tonight is my guest Rick Tong. He is the head of delegation for Finland and he's the reason why we're all heading to Helsinki this summer. So good evening Rick, thank you for joining. First of all, I'm going to say huge congratulations for All Stars 8.
Thank you.
And I've got to ask, what was it that made you select the Rasmus and In the Shadows? And did you head into the contest feeling confident, feeling that you've got a winner in your hands? What was the reasoning behind it?
So initially when I thought about what act to send for Finland, I thought maybe it might be a good idea to go down like the kind of nostalgia route. It's probably got a big following because it's a big song for the Rasmus. They're a big band from Finland. They've already proven themselves to be a Eurovision act as well, so we thought we'll just go with that. And thankfully it worked out well.
It did. And with that, obviously, you're now the host country, so we're all heading to Finland in August. What can you tell us about what you have in store in terms of your act this time around?
So our act for All Stars 9, they are an established act within Finland. They have competed in UMK recently, in fact, and also they did form part of the jury for Finland for Eurovision 2025. But our act will be announced next week.
Okay. And for those of you who can't wait to find out, maybe just guess and drop a comment and see who you think it is that will represent the host country in this summer's All-Stars Song Contest. So now it is time to get down to the real business. This evening will be split into two sections. The first section will be based solely on the countries competing in the semi-finals, and the second part will be focused on the host country Finland alongside the Big Five, who, as we know, are France, Italy, Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. So the way we're going to start this for the semi-final allocation draw is in Rick's bowl next to me. He has the name of the 33 countries that will compete for a place in the grand final. And in front of me I have two bowls. Bowl A is just for the first semi-final and bowl B is for the second semi-final. So Rick will start by pulling out a country at random. I will then start with the first semi-final, in which I will draw either the first half or the second half. Then we will turn to the second semi-final and go back and forth until all the countries have been placed. But do remember, because we have 33 countries, it does mean that the first semi-final will have an additional country. So the last country in the bowl will be allocated to the first half of the first semi-final. Obviously, we will keep you up to date as we go along. So, Rick, are you ready to rock?
Ryan, I'm ready to rock.
Then let's rock and roll. We begin with the first country who will compete in the first semi-final.
So the first country in the first semi-final is Croatia.
And Croatia will perform in the first half of the first semi-final. So, moving on to the first country in the second semi-final.
First country in the second semi-final is Poland.
And Poland will perform in the second half of the second semi-final. And as I explained, we now hop back to the first semi-final and we'll go back and forth until all countries are allocated. So, back to the first semi-final.
So the second country for the first semi-final is Iceland.
And Iceland will perform in the second half of the first semi-final.
So the second country for the second semi-final will be Ireland.
Ireland almost pictured to the post in All Stars 8, but wasn't quite there. Ireland will perform in the first half of the second semi-final. Georgia. So Georgia will perform in the first semi-final and they will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
So in the second semi-final, Lithuania.
And Lithuania will perform in the second half of the second semi-final.
So in the first semi-final we have the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. And the Netherlands will perform in the second half of the first semi-final. We're getting good at this now.
The next country, Sweden.
Sweden. As we know, Sweden already have a win under their belt thanks to Loreen. Can they do it again? Sweden will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
Next country up is Czechia.
Czechia. And Czechia will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
It's very nerve-wracking.
It is very tense.
Next up, Switzerland.
Switzerland. And Switzerland. They've come second before with Celine and Ashes. Can they go all the way in All-Stars 9? Switzerland will perform in the second half of the second semi-final.
The next place for semi-final 1 goes to Cyprus.
Cyprus. And Cyprus will perform in the second half of the first semi-final.
Next country, Armenia.
Armenia. And Armenia will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
Greece.
Greece. Greece will perform in the second half of the first semi-final.
Next up in the second semi-final is Russia.
Russia. And Russia will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
Next up for the first semi-final is San Marino.
San Marino. And San Marino will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
Next country is Belgium.
Belgium. Belgium, the first ever winner of the All-Star Song Contest. Can they do it again? Belgium will perform in the second half of the second semi-final.
Taking their place in the first semi-final will be Malta.
Malta. And Malta will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
Next one is Albania.
Albania.
Tough competition last time.
They got their best result with a third place thanks to Dua Lipa. And Albania will perform in the second half of the second semi-final.
Next in the first semi-final is Israel.
Israel. And Israel will perform in the second half of the first semi-final.
Austria.
Austria. Let's see where Austria will perform. They will perform in the second half of the second semi-final. We're getting there.
Next country is Denmark.
Denmark. And Denmark will perform in the second half of the first semi-final.
Norway.
Norway, very strong in the contest. They already have a win under the belt thanks to Kino. And then they came back as the host country and got a runner-up, so
Ones to watch.
ones to watch. Norway will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
I hope they're still with us.
I think you're still with us, I'm sure you are.
Next up is Ukraine.
Ukraine. And Ukraine will perform in the second half of the first semi-final. Estonia, winners of the 6th All-Star Song Contest, thanks to Yannick and House of Glass. Can they do it again? Estonia will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
Next up in the first semi-final will be Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
Bulgaria.
And Bulgaria will perform in the second half of the second semi-final. 7 more countries to go.
You're good at maths.
I'm just counting my scrolls. Slovenia will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
In the second semi-final, we'll have Portugal.
And Portugal will perform in the first half of the second semi-final.
Next up is Serbia.
Serbia will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
Australia.
They've come close. Can they go that one step further and take home the trophy? Australia will perform in the first half of the second semi-final. 3 to go.
Tension's really starting to mount.
I know, I'm trying to think who's left. So many countries.
Latvia.
You could forget Latvia. Latvia will perform in the first half of the first semi-final.
1 of 2 left.
1 of 2. Choose wisely.
Luxembourg.
As we all remember, Luxembourg made their debut with Lara Fabian. I Will Love Again. Got a 3rd place. That's how you do it. The second half of the second semi-final for Luxembourg, which, as we know, means 1 country left who will perform in the first semi-final.
Romania.
Winner of the 2nd All-Star Song Contest, and they'll perform in the second half of the first semi-final. So there you have it, all 33 semi-finalists allocated for semi-final 1 on the 12th of August and semi-final 2 on the 14th of August. But, as we know, only 10 from each semi-final can make it and find a place in the grand final on the 16th of August. So here's a reminder of how those countries have been allocated. Welcome back to the semi-final allocation draw for the 9th edition of the All-Stars Song Contest. As you will have just seen, we have now allocated which semi-final the 33 semi-finalists will compete in. But a reminder to those heads of delegation who will act as our national juries, remember, you will vote in the semi-final you are not competing in. Now, the only thing left to do with the semi-finals is allocate which semi-final our Big Five and host country Finland will vote in. This time around, I will pick out the country, and then Rick will pick out which semi-final they'll be voting in. So, we begin with the first country, and that country is Spain.
And Spain will be voting in semi-final 1.
Our next country from the Big Five and host is Germany.
Germany will be voting in semi-final 1.
Country number 3, we have France.
France will vote in semi-final 2.
country number 4, we have host country Finland.
They'll be placing their votes in semi-final 2.
Country number 5, we have Italy.
And they'll be voting in semi-final 1.
Which leads us to one country. Who could that be? Two-time winners.
Wasn't paying attention.
Two-time winners, United Kingdom.
And they'll be voting in semi-final 2.
So they are the Big Five and hosts allocated. And here's a quick reminder of which semi-final they will be voting in. Welcome to the third and final part of the semi-final allocation draw for the 9th All-Stars Song Contest. We have now allocated which semi-final our semi-finalists will compete in and which our Big Five and host country Finland will vote in. So all that's left now is to decide the fate of our Big Five and Finland when it comes to the grand final on the 16th of August. To do that, we will start by deciding in which position in the running order Finland will perform in, and then we will head on to the Big Five. But before we do that, let's take a quick look as to why we're heading to Helsinki this summer.
$294 points. That means the winner of the All-Stars Song Contest 8 with 478 points is Finland.
I've been watching, I've been waiting in the shadows all my time. I've been searching, I've been living for tomorrows all my life.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the Rasmus truly brought Finland out of the shadows.
And put us firmly within the Hall of Fame of the All-Stars family.
That they did. But can Finland do the double and do it again? It is now time to seal Finland's fate when it comes to the grand final. So, in front of Rick is a bowl with 1 to 26 numbers. That number will simply decide which position in the grand final running order Finland will perform on the 16th of August. So no pressure. Down to you, Rick.
I'm not going to look.
You got a number in your head. Visualize.
One's fallen out.
One's fallen out, but that's
I'm not
fine.
looking.
That's fine.
So the position for Finland in the final will be 25.
25.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Second to end.
I'm happy with that.
Very nice. And I'm sure this mystery act will be very delighted as well.
They will be very happy.
Well, I would be very happy with 25. What, did you have a number in your head?
I thought maybe 11, 12,
Oh, okay.
midway.
But we say that the Rasmus won in position 8, so actually, I mean, anyway, if it's the right song,
As long as it was not number 4.
no number 4? Well, number 4 is statistically the worst performing position in the grand final. But I'm sure whoever is in position 4 this August will prove us wrong. I hope. Okay, so we now move on to the Big Five. As we know, that involves France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Now, the way this will work is in front of Rick's bowl, he has scrolls that simply say either first half or second half. However, there is one that reads direct position. Now, the first country to pull up direct position will, like Finland have just done, pick their direct position in the grand final running order. However, if the first 4 countries don't pick that, it means the last country in this bowl will automatically get to pick their direct position. So, shall we do this?
Let's go.
The first country from the Big Five is France.
And France will perform. Well, they'll have a direct position into the final.
Well, that was quick. Well done,
That was
France. So, no pressure to France. who at the moment are in the middle of their semi-finals, so they are busy deciding.
Very busy.
And we'll now find out where that winning act for France's national final will perform.
Big name acts as well in France.
Some big names, some big contenders,
So
but will they get
their
a big
position will be number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
What are the odds? So France will perform in position number 4 in the grand final. It's the luck of the draw. So that means we have Spain, Germany, Italy and the United Kingdom to decide which half of the grand final they will perform in. So up next is Spain.
And Spain will perform in the first half of the grand final.
First half for Spain. Up next we have the United Kingdom.
United Kingdom will perform in the second half of the grand final.
Number 3, Italy.
Italy will perform in the second half of the grand final.
Which, last but not least, leaves us with Germany.
And Germany will take the second half position.
Second half for the grand final. Well, there we have it. The semi-final allocation draw and the grand final Big Five and host draw is complete. So, until the shows go live, obviously we have lots of countries deciding which entry they will send to Helsinki this summer. Make sure to follow their journeys, support them, give them all the love before that vote opens, and of course join us for the live shows. Semi-final 1 on the 12th of August, semi-final 2 on the 14th of August, and then of course the big one, live from Helsinki, the grand final on Saturday, the 16th of August. Don't miss it, it's going to be a good one. So, it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from me, and I look forward to seeing you in August in Helsinki.
Good night.
Good night.